Hello, this is lesson 10G and it's on Box and Whisker Plots. So if you didn't get this handout in class, you can always download your own copy from my PowerSchool website, the same page you found this video. Okay, so you should have this worksheet in front of you, and what we're going to do is first fill in the blanks here. Okay, so I need you to pause the video so you can copy in all these words on the blanks, and make sure you do that first. Pause it, do that, and then when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, so the Box and Whisker plot. I know it's a funny name, but the reason why it gets its name is because, as you can see, there's a box in the middle, and then there's these line segments sticking out. So those are what we call the whiskers. And here it says a box and whisker plot organized data values into 4 equal groups. Okay, and then you have a couple of vocabulary words here. First, your first quartile, or I abbreviate it as your Q1. Your first quartile is the median of the lower half of your data. Then you have your third quartile, which I abbreviate as Q3. That's your median of the upper half of your data. And then we have the interquartile range, which is the third quartile minus the first quartile. So if you're looking at this graph, the third quartile is the value point here, and the first quartile is here, so it's the distance from here to here. You just subtract these two numbers, and that'll give you the length of the box. And then we have the word range. The range is your maximum number minus your minimum number. So again, according to this box and whisker plot, our maximum minus our min. Okay, the other thing I want you guys to write above the box and whisker plot that you see is to write all these 25%. Because remember when I said the box and whisker plot organizes your data into 4 equal groups? Well, that means the distance from the minimum to the first quartile is about 25% of your data, and then the distance between the lower quartile and the median is about 25% of your data, etc. So from each point, it's going to be about 25% of your data. Okay, so now let's take a look on how to create a box and whisker plot. And I want you to pause your video here so that you can write down the letters that are in the blanks. Not the letters, the words that are in the blanks. Okay, so in this title here, how to create a box and whisker plot, it says, remember we are organizing our data into 4 equal parts. So the first thing you want to do is you want to order your data from least to greatest. Then you want to find the median of your data, because that'll cut the data in half. Then step 3, you want to find the median of the upper and lower half of your data. That's quartile 3, and this is quartile 1. So third quartile and first quartile. Then step 4, you want to find the minimum and maximum of your data. And then step 5, you're going to plot. You're going to plot the median, the quartiles, the minimum and maximum above a number line. And the last step, you're going to draw out the box and whiskers. So it's a lot of steps, but it really isn't that difficult. We're going to try this with example 1. So looking at this example, we're going to make a box and whisker plot for the ages of kids at a birthday party. And here's your data. And what you're first going to do is order your data from least to greatest. So here they are in order. I want you to pause the video so you can write this order down, and when you're ready to continue, press play. Please pause now. Okay, so remember, we're dividing our data into 4 equal parts. So now the next step is to find the median. And in this case, when we find the median, that's the middle number, okay, we work our way from the outsides all the way to the middle, and we have one middle number. So that makes it really easy. Our median is 9. Okay, that's our middle. All right, now, since we've split the data in half, we're going to find the upper half of our data. So since we've circled 9, because that's our median, we're not going to include 9. We're just going to go from 12 to 16, and we're going to find the median of the upper half, which we call quartile 3. So here finding the median. Our median is in between 13 and 16. So now we have two middle numbers. So remember, when you have two middle numbers, you add them together, divide by 2. So our third quartile is going to be 14.5. Okay, so write that down, circle it. Again, pause if you need to catch up. And now let's look at the lower half of the data. We have to find the median of this half. So we're going to take the 9 out because we circled it already. And we find the median in between the 6 and the 8. So the middle, this median here is going to be, since we have two middle numbers, it's going to be in between 6 and 7. So the middle number is just going to be 6.5. Okay, you can add them and divide by 2 if you want, or just know that it's 6.5. And then we have our minimum and our maximum. Our minimum numbers are, our number is 6. That's the smallest or the youngest child at the birthday party. And then the oldest is 16. That's our maximum. So now we're ready to plot our box and whisker plot. Okay, so you want to number the number line before you begin, and go ahead and pause the video if you need time to number this, as you see on your screen. And now what we're going to do is we're going to plot our points. So again, if you are not ready to continue, please pause the video so you can catch up. So the first number I like to plot is the median. So I'm going to go ahead where it says 9. I'm going to put a dot above it, and I'm going to label it 9. So right here. Okay. And down below I'll label it 9. Then I like to plot the first quartile and the third quartile. So at 6.5, that's going to be in between 6 and 7. I'm going to put a dot there and label it 6.5. And then the upper quartile is at 14.5. So I'll do the same. I'm trying to make the dots like at even heights. Okay, we're labeling it 14.5. Okay, now I'm going to draw the box. So it's not perfect, but the box is going to go through, the sides of the box is going to go through the first quartile and the third quartile. And in the middle of the box, where the median is, we're going to draw a line through it. And that's not going to be always in the middle of the box. A lot of times it'll be towards one end, and that's fine. And then the last part are the whiskers. The whiskers are where the points of the minimum and the maximum are. So we have to go, our minimum age is 6. So we have to go to 6 and draw a box or a dot above it. Okay, I'm going to label that 6. I don't have a lot of space. And then our maximum is 16. So we're going to draw a dot above 16. And then I'm going to label it 16. And that's our box and whisker plot. Okay, so now is a good time for the movie clue. And again, if I'm going too fast, pause the video. On the side here, I want you to write the word birthday cake, or you can draw a birthday cake if you'd like. So just make sure you do that so that I know you're paying attention. Okay, so this is our box and whisker plot, and there's some observations we can make based on the box and whisker plot above. So here, remember what I said before, the box and whisker plot divides our data into 4 equal parts. So each part is roughly 25% of your data. So from 6 to 6.5, that's 25%. And from 6.5 to 9, that's 25%. From 9 to 14.5, that's about 25% of our data, etc. And 14.5 to 16, about 25% of our data. So when it says, what percent of kids below are 6.5 years or 6.5 years? Okay, so from here down, it's going to be, our answer is going to be 25%. Now for problem 2, the percent of kids between 6.5 and 14.5 years. So remember here, this is 25%. And then from here to here, that's another 25%. So from 6.5 to 14.5, that's 25, 25. So that's our middle 50%. So let's write 50%. And then for our interquartile range, that's looking again at our box here, the range, the distance between this end here minus end. This is third quartile. This is the first quartile. So you're going to subtract those. So you're going to have 14.5 minus 6.5. So when you subtract those, you get 8 years. Okay, so let's write 8 years here. And for problem number 4, when we talk about the range, what's the range of our data? Then all you're going to do is do the maximum age, which is 16, minus the minimum age, which is 6. You subtract them and you get 10 years. So let's write that on the last part. And then that's all for your notes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.